Thank you for clicking on this Fun with Pete and Sherry video. I'm your host, Mr. Julian, and today have, by request, Glendronach Aldrice 18 and Tomatin 14 port cask, and also, very much by request, the lovely Miss Hope is here again to co-host with me. That's 3 in a row, so you are now, I think, the all-time champion co-host.
You know, this is an honor that I never thought I would win. I'm glad I have.
Yes, we're all happy, and it keeps the fans happy too. They've been willing a lot of the time to just look at me for this long. They deserve a break. Okay, so I had actually I've had like only one request email in the time I've done this, and it was a fan asked me to do both of these, and I was like,
so let's put it in one video.
But it's so odd that you would ask for 2 particular scotches that I happen to have a bottle of. Not a entirely fresh bottle, that's true.
I just think it's odd that you emailed a YouTube video with a request.
Yeah, well, someone did.
Someone has that
well, no. I mean, the thing is, I always respond to comments on my videos. So I even responded to the guy who said, and this is probably my all-time favorite comment, love your videos, hate your big head. So.
Well, don't we all?
I was like, yeah, how do you think I fucking feel? All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with the Tomatin. I said I did have them. They were not entirely fresh, but it's okay. They're good.
You are a man who makes whiskey videos. You like your whiskey.
I do. It's
apparently a lot.
Apparently a lot, because I have a lot of whiskey bottles and they all disappear. No matter how many I have, they seem to disappear at the same rate.
It must be the damn elves.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm 48 years old. This is like the prime drinking age.
Isn't every age the prime drinking age?
I don't know. I feel like when you're young and you have like your life ahead of you, there's certain excesses you don't want to get into because you might need those brain cells for something later. I'm not going to need them. I've already done it.
It makes it more fun.
Okay, so now Tomatin is a Highland whiskey, Highland Scotch, and it is non-peated. Maybe it has a trace of peat. Let's see. I don't think so, though. It tastes pretty much completely non-peated, and I've had the 12 and the 18. The 12 is a mix of bourbon and sherry barrels. The 18 is, I think they've basically taken the 12 and given it an additional time in a sherry barrel, so it's darker and redder. And now this one, which has got that kind of a yellowish. Maybe it was finished in a tawny port as opposed to a red port. I don't know.
Oh, so this is the 14-year one.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, aspects of light fruits. All right, well, let's try it.
And I just cut my finger because I was trying to clean one of my special
we had a medical emergency
glasses to do this video, and it had a crack in it, and I wasn't thinking about that, and it shattered while I was trying to wash it, and I cut myself. So let that be a lesson. If a Scotch glass does get a crack in it, no, very serious, you got to throw it away right away.
Yep, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Not worth the blood, the hassle.
All right. Without further ado.
And there will be much more ado.
There will be more ado. There's always more ado. It's crackling.
Rain?
Oh no, I think my iPhone is simulating rain. All right. Well,
no, I think it is raining. Oh.
Yes, so that's a lot. Let me hold this up to the microphone so that you guys can hear what I'm talking about. Okay.
Don't act like a genius.
All right.
But who knows? It's probably always raining right now.
But it has been raining a lot. Oh, should I mention the fact that we're doing this video from Charlottesville on August 12th?
Happy August 12th, everybody.
The 1 year anniversary of the day we fought off fucking Nazis. And I'm sorry.
So this is why we're drinking.
Anyone can watch my videos online, but I will tell you, I do not want the support of white supremacists and affiliated scum.
We
I really
may be
don't.
white, but that doesn't mean that we're like Nazi friendly.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just smell this.
We're gonna make it awkward, Julie.
This is my I'm thinking about the Scotch pose. Have you seen this pose? You're going to hold like this, rest there, sort of lean my head to the right a little bit.
Okay. You think too damn much.
I'm not thinking, I'm actually just perceiving.
I'm drinking.
Mm-hmm. So the sort of, there's a maltiness to this Scotch, but it's very subtle. It's very subtle, and so the port finish, which is not overdone, but here adds a very nice, also subtle little sweetness and sort of floral sweetness. I like
this one so much.
Yeah, adds a little floral sweetness. It's good, but as I said, yeah,
it's a little sharp.
Is it?
I mean, it's just not as smooth as some of the others you've given me. It goes down a little, like, you know. Like, I can get it down, no problem. But it goes down a little harshly.
There's a, yeah, I definitely sense that. On the other hand, now, and it should be pretty smooth after 14 years.
You would think.
Yes, although we have been drinking like 25 and 30-year-old scotches, so.
Wow.
I do spoil you. So.
Does it have honey in it?
Well, you're not allowed to actually put honey in it, but
why not?
You can't add anything to Scotch.
Then how do they make it? I meant like in the like process, like
no. There's nothing. You can't add anything but the grain, the yeast. The water.
The only things you can do to it is like change it with the barrels and like.
Yeah, you can age it in different barrels.
And you can have peat and
that's in terms of how you prepare the barley. Yes, and other grains. You can use other grains in Scotch, but not malt whiskey, like not this single malt Scotch.
It tastes really honey-y.
Yes, and that's a lot of that. You get those lighter flavors if you get stills that are tall, and so that they only get like the purer aspects of the spirit, and heavier chemicals sort of seep down and don't make it out into the next layer. So you get tall stills produce a light spirit. Squat stills produce a very heavy spirit. Now I kind of like this one. As you see, I think it's a good sitting around the house Scotch. Not that I encourage you to just drink while you're sitting around the house, but if you're going to anyway,
what else you do?
Yeah, exactly.
I like light spirits. Mm-hmm. I think your spirits should be light, especially while drinking Scotch.
Yes. Now, I mean, I'm kind of liking this one. I'm not seeing it as flawless, but it has that. There's enough of there's a flavor that develops after, like I say, the maltiness isn't much, but then there's a kind of a sweet fruitiness, especially on the finish, that is quite nice. I feel like my mouth is sort of perfumed after a.
I feel like this could be a sippin' whiskey, but like a sippin' whiskey after I've like had a couple of the really good shit of yours. Yeah. You know, because I'm not going to buy it. I have no problem finishing it though.
No. No, you want some more?
No, I have to drive.
You know I like to keep myself.
I have to drive.
Yeah, but not anytime soon.
Yeah. What is the alcohol percentage on this? Oh goodness gracious.
Okay, so
Enough to get you drunk. That's what the alcohol percentage is.
yeah, so I mean, I'm enjoying all the Tomatins that I've had.
No,
the
it's
12 is
a
also
good,
pretty good.
like it's a good Scotch. Like I grant, like it's not one of the better ones.
Yes, I mean, you could say with the spirit that the finish really takes over here. The finish is able to push the spirit around quite a bit.
That sounds like
because,
a whole lot of bullshit. What did you just say?
well,
Explain that to the layman.
If the spirit if it comes with its own very strong flavor, you could take a Scotch like that, Balvenie, put it in a cask that's been refilled 3 times, so it doesn't absorb hardly any extra flavor from the wood, and let it age till it's mellow for like 12 years, and then drink it, and it's fucking fantastic.
Okay.
And it has a unique flavor. It has that honey malty.
No, I get what you're saying.
Flavor.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
now this, it would be. It's not a harsh whiskey by itself, but it's also not. I don't feel it expressing anything particularly by itself. Almost everything I'm getting is port cask finish, and it's good. I feel like they used good port casks here, because if you use wine casks or sweet wine, sherry or port incorrectly, you get a dregsy, nasty taste, and it doesn't actually work. Including some of the newer Macallans.
Oh, don't say that.
Macallan, they have such a good name, they have a responsibility to keep their product good, and if they don't,
Fuck 'em.
I just out here, I just call them like I see it. Yeah.
Hey, I just drink it.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to give this a rating? Let me see. Let me put one in my mind first. Okay, I know what I'm going with this.
What's your rating?
I'm giving it an 8.4.
Okay, if one is Old Crow, and like the best is like, I don't know, really good fucking, like this is maybe a Jack Daniels.
I put it a little above a Jack Daniels, but okay.
It didn't hit me. It didn't like grab me.
Okay.
It was sippable. I could sip it. I was just drinking it to get the alcohol, you know?
I see.
Oh man. You trying to get me drunk here?
Should I? Would it be worth my while?
Probably not.
Damn it. All right, well, no.
It hasn't been any other times yet, so let's just keep rolling these dice.
You never know. Let's see. Okay, Glendronach. Now, we all know Glendronach. I probably shouldn't be trying to pronounce it Spanish like that, but however I'm trying to do it. But
Well, earlier you were Scottish and Russian, so wherever you go.
What you tend to get with Glendronach is a whiskey that's aged in sherry and then given a second finish in PX, which is like what sherry is to bourbon, PX is to sherry. It's a special, intense dessert sherry. Now,
And PX is a really fun word.
PX, is it? It's a Pedro Jimenez. Jimenez.
Well, when you explain it, it's not nearly as much fun.
Pedro Jimenez.
Okay, so are we going to drink this?
Yes. Now the 12-year-old I drank some, and I was not a huge fan of because it kind of felt artificial. It felt like Scotch that was okay Scotch that someone tried to put a sort of candy overcoat on. Now when I had the 21-year-old, the Parliament, I understood what it was they were trying to create. And that was really good. And the 18 is essentially very much in the same direction. This one, though, I guess this one doesn't have the PX. This is probably like aged in Oloroso. Yeah, so this is just Oloroso sherry. All of Glendronach generally has no peat and massive sherry monster style scotch.
Sounds great up my alley.
All right, make sure you got and you can tell the difference right at the top of the bottle there, with all that fruitiness coming at you. So this is just sherry, but full on. You can see the reddishness of the scotch, and as you know, if you're a longtime viewer, or perhaps you don't, if you're new, you can add only one coloring to a scotch, and that's E150A. It's brown. And so there's no way to create the red artificially. If you see red, it's been aged in wine, sherry, port, something. Okay, so let's have a smell or a drink.
Well, you know where my mind goes.
Now, yeah, I mean,
this is a lot smoother.
Yeah. Okay. The fruitiness on the top is really amazing. If you're familiar with scotches like Macallan's and Glenfarclas and Glengoyne and other sherry monsters, you know what I mean by the Christmas cake type flavor. Even though that's not something we have in America. I've come to understand exactly what the British mean when they're talking about it, and that's what you're getting here: spice, fruit, sweetness. It's all there.
Yep.
So let me have a taste here. Yeah, smooth. I was actually expecting something to sort of attack my palate on the way in, but this just went down. Very smooth as spit, and all that fruitiness is there, but it's very rounded, very subtle.
It does definitely has like the spiciness to it,
but but no sourness.
No,
that's what I like.
I do not feel any downsides to drinking this.
And there are none.
Yeah, there are 400 extra cops on the streets right now. Give me more alcohol.
Which is why you shouldn't go anywhere. That is lovely.
It is a well-rounded, it's a well-rounded drink. It like comes full circle,
Yeah.
And it makes my tongue go numb, just like good cocaine.
I don't know. She's joking. No, seriously. Yeah, I mean, it's like if I do like drug videos, I'll get in trouble.
Kidding.
Yeah,
Come on.
Okay.
I mean, it's making my tongue go numb. That's weird.
Yes, which I think the Balvenie, you said your tongue was having an orgasm, but this isn't quite the same as that. In a second, but I did not give Aldrice a rating yet, and
I give it an 8.7.
8.7.
But I give everything really high ratings.
I'm gonna go a little higher. I'm gonna give it an 8. I give it an 8.8.
There's something written on the bottom of my glass. Huh.
The Glencairn glass, I think it probably says.
Mm-hmm.
We're a big fan of the Glencairn glasses here, as you know.
I just noticed.
Very strong. Often you can. I'm not going to try this because I just cut my hand doing with a glass earlier. But you can often drop a Glencairn glass and have it neither break nor even spill your
Well, that is
Scotch.
what I want in a glass.
Isn't that
there
awesome?
you go.
I believe I'm the first Scotch video vlogger to do a complete rotation of my Scotch
Go
on the
Scottish
table.
people. Like, who else would invent a non-spillable glass?
There's another thing we could do. Because I fucked up and I put something I shouldn't have that turned out to be a blended Scotch, even though it was a good one, in my what do I call this?
My tongue has gone from
This is
numb
my
to
Solera
tingling.
flask. Oh yeah, okay.
Yes. This is interesting. Things are getting hot in here.
Yeah, they sure are.
So what's this? Oh, there's nothing in here.
No, that's my Solera flask. It's a decanter. But what I do with it is I'll fill it up with a Scotch. I'll wait till I get two-thirds full, and then I'll fill it back to the top with another one, and then again, and then again, and then again. Now, the interesting thing you learn from this is that
unsanitary.
some what's unsanitary about Scotch? So we could start a new Solera flask today, and I think I know how to start it.
There you go. You are witnessing history. Now, what do you do when you finish a bottle of Scotch? Do you give it a Viking funeral? Send it off and
Sorry. Alas, I finished so many bottles of Scotch. I can't do anything.
We don't have that many
special with
boats. We're at a fire, man.
Now, what I learned from doing this is that some combinations are good, and some combinations are not.
I have experienced those. Sometimes I do not drink your decanter.
Now I have no doubts at all about Tomatin 14 and Aldrice 18 and Glendronach Aldrice. They're going to play well together. I've got a couple more here now to give it fullness, albeit with maybe less individual character than the others. I'm going to add some Glenfiddich 12. As I've said before, I think Glenfiddich 12 is a really good Scotch. Taste. It's also the most popular single malt Scotch in the world. You could find it almost everywhere, but it has a nice nutty flavor, and it's usually pretty smooth. I also told you when I had a bad batch of Glenfiddich 12, but it doesn't happen that often.
No, that is a good, smooth. I can taste the nuts.
And to give it some real character, I'm going to add the rest with this 23-year-old special bottling from Murray McDavid of Springbank, distilled in 1993. Now, Springbank.
1993 was a good year.
Oh yeah, is that when you were born?
No, I was 3 years old.
Okay.
It was a great year. I knew how to read.
I did. Yeah, I knew how to read when I was 3.
See, it's a good year.
Yes. Okay, so Springbank is mid-level peaty, but it's so spicy and fiery by itself that it's like a firecracker. So now we've got what should be, I think that should be really tasty. Based on what?
Well, drink that. Mm-hmm. Let's try this. Do we shake it up? You just pour it?
It shouldn't take it too long for those to mix together. So we'll give it.
All right, well then.
All right, and now, and my own concoction. Don't try this, by the way, unless you really want to get into drinking Scotch, because once you get into mixing and drinking and tasting, you'll find you've drunk 8 Scotches a day as your baseline.
It's amazing how slowly you can drink Scotch in a half an hour.
Like I said, you only drink Scotch slowly, but you can easily drink 6 Scotches slowly over the course of half an hour.
No problem.
At least that's
easy.
the way I see it. Okay.
How is that?
The nose, I'm getting a teeny little bit of like spicy, perhaps nuttiness on the nose. Not much more than that. Well, it's a little aggressive.
I like
But nice.
aggressive.
It's fruity, and you do. Okay. It's fruity and malty, and then it finishes quite dry. So in many ways, this is not the
That
exact.
is not how you want to finish, man. Definitely do not want to finish dry.
And here's to that. Cilantro. All right, so have a taste.
Oh, well.
You've come this far.
Who am I kidding? I know myself.
That's actually really good.
You know, I was expecting worse. And that turned out really fucking well. There you go.
I'm a mix master. I tell you, I could put that guy from Compass Box to shame. Smooth and fun and no sharp edges. That's a particularly important
Can't cut yourself on them.
thing for me right now. Yeah.
Can we start over?
Yeah.